everyone, welcome back to year-end list season right here on Beyond AR TV. Today I'm going to be counting down my favorite hit songs of the year, my top 17 to be exact. Why 17? Because normally I have a show called 7 on Sunday on Sundays, but since it's year-end list season, sometimes I expand that to be 17 on Sunday. We bend the rules sometimes around here. What does it take to be eligible for this list? The song has to chart for at least 5 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100 charts in 2017 in the United States for it to be eligible for my best of list, at least for the hits. I really feel like in the mainstream this year we lacked a lot of diversity, and that doesn't mean that some great songs didn't come through. It's just that I'm really hoping for a better 2018 because 2016 was rough, but 2017 just got downright bad. There were many trap songs that just took over. There was such an influx, and it all just felt washed out, rinse, recycle, repeat. Overused songs, trendy, meme-related songs, and just not a ton of substance. And not that that's always what I'm looking for whenever it comes to pop, it's just that 2017 really left me wanting more. But these 17 that I'm talking about today, yeah, those are the good ones. Those are some of the ones that I highly recommend that you guys revisit, or if you avoid the pop charts, then check them out. Before we get to my very first pick though, let's take a look at my honorable mentions. The ones that didn't quite make the cut, but were still relatively good pop leading songs in 2017.
Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with the shape of you.
Won't you send me your location? Let's focus on communicating.
Sky is more blue in Malibu. Turn it up, it's your favorite song. Dance, dance, dance to the distortion.
Passionate from miles away. Passive with the things you say.
Oh, was that it already? Wow, there really weren't many honorable mentions this year. Kinda like I said, a little bit of a rough year, my opinion. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think of the list in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like on the video if you're enjoying all of these year-end countdowns. Shout out to my girlfriend Infinity on Hannah for editing all of the transitions in this video and all of my year-end countdowns. You can subscribe to her channel, it's linked down below. Here we go with the countdown.
Brothers got that gas and they always be smoking like a ROCKSTAR. Fucking with me, call up on the Uzi and show up, name them the shot toss. When my homies pull up on your block, they make that thing go grata-ta-ta.
A lot of people that watch my year-end videos especially think that I hate rap, or I hate trap, or I hate everything just associated with it, or I'm not a fun guy and you hate fun-related music. Well, that's not true. I just like my fun music to actually be, you know, fun. My number 17 pick is just that. It's fun through and through. It's by Post Malone and 21 Savage, and it's called ROCKSTAR. This was a big hit this year for Post Malone, his first ever #1 single on the Billboard Hot 100. Congrats to him. I've always liked Post as a person. You might have seen him on a lot of things like the H3 podcast. He appeared in an iDubbbz video. He's known for just cracking a lot of jokes, relatively being a chill guy, but I've never been super into his music, at least not all of it. There were songs on his debut album Stoney that I was a fan of, and we'll have to see if Beer Bongs and Bentley holds more that I will actually enjoy. ROCKSTAR is a track that is inspired by all of those in the olden days, like Jim Morrison, all of these other icons that actually did drugs, you know, lived it up, partied, lived that lifestyle. And I feel like with a track like ROCKSTAR, he's kind of building a bridge between, you know, the rock stars being rock stars and then rappers becoming rock stars. And Post sounds great on this one. I love the hook, it gets stuck in your head. Great smooth percussion and flow all throughout with the instrumental. And then 21 Savage is the most listenable that I have ever heard him. That's a compliment, I swear.
Oh, I'm trying, I'm trying, I'm trying, I'm trying, I'm trying. Oh, trying, I'm trying, I'm trying, I'm trying, I'm trying not to think about you. No, 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 not to think about you.
Selena Gomez releasing a song that sampled a Talking Heads bass line from the 80s? What? That just didn't seem right whenever I heard it on paper, but as soon as I pressed play on the song, I was captivated. I was like, okay, what is this? this is cool. I looked into it, saw that it was a Talking Heads bass line, and that's why it sounds much more 80s. And she even tapped one of the Foo Fighters' longtime music video directors to direct her video for Bad Liar. And this is my number 16 pick for a reason. This one is very memorable to me. It comes across very cool and smooth, and Gomez's vocal delivery here is almost kind of like restrained talk, whisper, like she's getting out a stream of consciousness in terms of why she's feeling a certain way, and the infatuation that just comes over someone like a wave. And the chorus is catchy as hell, very fresh feeling, and it was refreshing to hear in the pop market. It's a shame that this track didn't chart higher than number 20 on the Hot 100, but whatever, we'll take it. We needed some variety desperately, and Gomez brought that to the table. Unfortunately, her follow-up single didn't really, but we won't talk about that. Bad Liar? Number 15 is Reminder by The Weeknd. The R&B star had a huge year at the end of 2015 leading into 2016, and Reminder is one of the overlooked singles in my opinion. Yes, it got the remix treatment, and that's cool. I was kind of a fan of that, but I'm always going to prefer the original of this song, and I think that both versions kind of taking off around the same time achieved chart success for this song. The remix, like I said, it's there, it's fine, and it's definitely listenable. Some of the other rappers that come on there are just fine, but I like the original because this is Abel Tesfaye really just telling people what it is and where he is. Yes, he won a Teen Choice Award and all of these other things, but he's like, guess what? I won that because I sang a song about my face going numb off of a bag of blow. He's about the drugs, he's bringing his life into the music, and his life isn't exactly PG kid friendly. So a track like this definitely pumps in the whip. I love the bass, I love the anger that fuels the lyrics, and he comes across cocky, but in a kind of suave and calculated way, and this was a bold, striking move that I loved from The Weeknd.
I got no rules, I count 'em.
Undoubtedly, one of the breakout stars of 2017 was Miss Dua Lipa, and I love her track New Rules. It wasn't my favorite on Dua Lipa 1, the self-titled record that came out over the summer, but still, I will take this. I was hoping for a hit off of this record because when I heard the album, I had viewers recommending it to me. They were saying, this is what pop music should sound like. It's brighter, it's more in your face, and even though it is relatable and definitely has catchy hooks, it's still pushing in a very bright, non-melodramatic way. And that's not a stab at everything that has melodrama in the title, it's just that so much of pop music takes itself far too seriously. And something like New Rules might seem rehashed in a way because it's talking about the typical, don't call this guy back because you know you're gonna go back to him, but I like the way that it pretty much breaks it down like an 80s type film and lists out all of these different plot points and the ways that they're gonna avoid calling this guy back and how the friends are gonna band together to not let each other do that. And it's got a moving, swaying beat on it, a little funky, and I honestly love the guitar flair added in as well. A great song, and I hope that more charts in the US from Dua Lipa.
Versace on the floor. Ooh, shake it off for me now, girl. Versace on the floor.
I'm gonna be honest, I thought that this song was gonna blow up because it got a remix, and the remix treatment usually just feels generic, like they're stabbing somebody on there and they're like, alright, this track isn't gonna perform well enough, we don't think, so let's just, I don't know, get some rapper on there, throw up a verse, just spew it out in like 20 minutes in the studio, and we'll have it out to radio by next week. Fortunately, Versace on the Floor's remix didn't exactly seem to gain any traction, and then it got an actual music video for the actual song, no remix, and it is such a good, just a smooth, sexy jam. So many songs trying to be sexy these days, Bruno Mars is taking them all to school because this is how you do it. I'm once again getting big Michael Jackson vibes from a track like this, and I know that he gets compared to Mr. Jackson a lot, but that's because he has the talent, he has the voice, voice, the style, the capabilities, the suaveness, and his music on Versace on the Floor does come across in all of those ways. I love the piano and the synthesizer in the background, the way that it builds up, and the way that it just kind of smartly drops in that guitar and bass. Over the chorus, it's a classic-leaning song. It's something that's going to feel timeless, and I hope that this is something that is talked about for years to come.
And I'll run for miles just to get a taste. Must be love on the brain.
Hey, speaking of songs that aren't gonna sound dated, Love on the Brain by Rihanna comes in at number 12. This song really just took over me with time. I didn't initially love this song whenever I heard her album Anti, but as soon as I started hearing it on radio and just used like in various places in popular culture, I started loving this track because of its rooted feel. And once again, it does feel a bit more timeless because it uses older styles of music, but kind of a modern message and a one that can be taken for all different scenarios. I mean, Love on the Brain must be love on the brain. That's what she sings on the chorus. That's something that's obviously always going to apply because people feel that. And the way that the organ moves this track forward and the kind of way that the guitar strikes in comparison and contrast with that, this song gets every rhythm and beat right. And the writers, along with the additional writing by Rihanna, just feel spot on, like the track was made for her and her voice. I would like to see more like this from her in the future.
I bow down to pray. I try to make the worst seem better. Lord, show me the way.
I was actually kind of scared that Lady Gaga's album Joanne was going to tank and not have any hit singles because it's such a good album. It's so strong and it has so many different counterparts and a lot of different styles that saw her taking risks, and that's a huge thing for a pop star, especially one as big as her, to actually do. And we have a big hit single here, Million Reasons. A lot of that I think is thanks to her appearing at the Super Bowl halftime show, doing an amazing job there, and just bringing the roof down on the place. I really didn't know anybody that didn't like that performance, even if they weren't fans of her. Million Reasons is kind of a piano ballad, and it's one that shows off how strong her voice is. I think back in the day, people got the misconception that Gaga was just all auto-tune, she wasn't good. She is a Juilliard-trained songwriter, somebody who went to school for music, so she knows how to write a song, she knows how to sing a song, and that is quite clear, especially on moments like this, where her voice just roars to life.
Last night took a L, but tonight I bounce back, boy. I've been broke as hell, catch the check and bounce back. D-Town LAX, every week I bounce back.
Number 10 is Bounce Back by Detroit rapper Big Sean. This is a moment that feels great because it sees the glory, the comeback after taking an L, as he says in this song. And in rap music in general, I like seeing that. I like hearing somebody's story. I like seeing the come up, the hustle, and maybe where they are now. And I think that songs like this often get mistaken for being dumb or just flexing because there's so many of those out there that just feel pointless and like they've done it a million times. But Bounce Back is the perfect combination of catchy but also kind of crafting a story. Big Sean has some great bars here. One of the lines that really stood out to me, my daddy's a G, it's genetic. That's something that just came across so smooth, but it's kind of a deep line if you think about it because, you know, it's tying into genetics, his father, his heritage, but my daddy's a G, genetics, I don't know. It's something that came across clever to me, and it's just easy to remember a song like this because it does get ingrained in your memory so quickly.
My man is your man, haters are meant to. Said my man is your man, her that's her man.
Things are really starting to sizzle as we work our way further into the top 10. At number 9, we have SZA with The Weeknd. A moment like this, I honestly didn't see charting. I loved her album Control, but this one in particular did feel like it stood out to me, but I just didn't know how mainstream audiences would receive it. Thanks to some promotion from Top Dog label mate Kendrick Lamar and Schoolboy Q, I think that SZA actually started to take off a little bit more, and I'm so glad because she's such a talent and something that I would love to see more of in the pop industry because she's a multifaceted artist, and as she's said many times, she's not just hip-hop, she's not just R&B, she does a little bit of rock, pop, reggae, whatever she wants to do as well, and she's going to continue dipping her feet into different territories. And The Weeknd is a great song and a smart one as well because she seemingly sings about this man that's in her life on the weekend because she's actually splitting time with somebody else. She's sharing with another girl, and she's talking about maybe various days of the week that she gets him and she's going to please this guy and eventually win him over. It's a track that I really enjoy because you kind of slowly get into her mind and see where she's coming from. And the musical cues here are so on point. I love the way that it feels very crafted, and you can see it's smartly thought out, and just the way that the bass has a slight boom to it and a little bit of guitar and extra production. It's just all coming across so nicely. And a song like this, it's a package deal, and I'm so glad that it's a hit. You can thank the meme gods for number 8 actually being here because it actually became a hit. So many different people memed this because it was like what REDBONE would sound like if it was sung here, or if it was sung by Cleveland Brown, or etc, etc. You understand the point. You saw the memes. However, the good that came from this situation is that Childish Gambino, aka Donald Glover, got a big hit from REDBONE. It charted inside the top 20 on the Billboard Hot 100, and it was one of the best damn hit songs of the year. It calls back to like some 60s and 70s funk and a little bit of psychedelia as well. And the way that the vocals are presented here, you never would have guessed 5 years ago that this would be Childish Gambino and where he's at in 2016, 2017. Yet as we got Awaken My Love, a really, really strong album that was so different, I saw him crossing into different territories that he had never explored before, but actually pretty much acing it. And REDBONE was one of my favorites.
I hope you're somewhere praying, praying. I hope your soul is changing.
It's not easy for an artist in the pop industry in general, especially whenever your life is looked at and analyzed 24/7, but for an artist who was taken advantage of for so long and seemingly held under a thumb, and there's a lot of different things that I don't even want to get into, but I'm so glad to see Kesha back and doing well. And at number 7 on my list, we have her hit song, Praying. Praying is a big moment for her because it seemed like forgiveness without acceptance, if that makes sense. Not accepting what the person did to her or what the people did to her, but at the same time offering, I hope that you're off praying somewhere for all the things that you did. I'm going to move on with my life now. This is the last you're going to hear from me, okay? This is the last time that I'm going to address these things. Let's wrap it up and move on. Praying is a soaring piano ballad that really shows off how talented of a voice Kesha is, and it's like a Lady Gaga situation like I was talking about. So many people wrote her off and said, oh, it's just gutter trash, this is awful, she's so auto-tuned to hell. Well, quite often, that was the producer's choice and the image that they wanted for her.
Yeah, you just want attention. I knew from the start. You're just making sure I'm never getting over you.
I know, I don't know what to say. I didn't see it coming either, but we have Charlie Puth with his track Attention coming in at number 5. Just a year after 2 consecutive years in a row making it onto my worst songs of the year list. I think we all remember Marvin Gaye with Meghan Trainor. Oh God. No, but seriously, Attention is actually great. I love the bass line that just sums up this entire track with the way that it goes across the chorus and stays steady in the background of the track. You hear a little bit of guitar, but for the most part, this is just kept to minimal production. And it works for a song like this because Charlie Puth actually pulls off that kind of Guy and the Strangers type vibe that I never in a million years thought that I would have gotten from him. But here we are at Attention, a great pop song with a track about somebody who is just obviously wanting that attention, wanting the likes, wanting the looks, whatever it is, seeking somebody out just because maybe they feel lonely. And Charlie's like, I'm not giving that to you, girl, and if you want that, you can go somewhere else.
I found peace in your vibes. Can't show me there's no point in trying. I'm at one, and I've been quiet for too long.
Electronic superstar MARSHMELLO and KHALID come in hot on number 5's track Silence. This one is a banger in every sense of the word, not just because of the great chorus that has that, kind of progression and the chord-based drop, but also because it has a relevance to it and a potency in its lyrical content that I found so refreshing in today's music that just does feel so formulaic and calculated in a bad way. LORDE came back in 2017 to take the music industry by storm, and sadly that didn't entirely happen whatsoever, but this is a song that managed to chart just long enough for it to qualify for this list, so of course I'm gonna put it here. Is it the best song on Melodrama? Absolutely not, but is it a great song in general? Hell yes. This one, just crank down those windows, turn it up, and just drive to a song like this. It's your night out on the town, you're taking over, you are back, whatever it is, let this be your guide and your anthem. It sees LORDE much older, more mature, but also allowing herself to be a bit young and free, and something like Greenlight is a great expression of that. Jack Antonoff did an excellent job on production here, and I love everything from those bombastic drums to just that big soaring hook that could stay in your mind for days.
Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks now. I've been feeling it since 1966 now. Might have had your fill, but feel it still.
Pinch me, I must be dreaming. You're telling me that this indie band got a top 5 hit on the Billboard Hot 100? What's happening? This is amazing! As unexpected as it was, I'm so happy for them because Feel It Still is an amazing song and it comes in at number 3 on my list. Now you're probably wondering, if you follow me on Twitter, you were probably like, John, didn't you say that this was going to be your favorite hit song by far of 2017? Unsubbing, you lied to us. Well, kind sir or madame, I forgot about some of the other songs that came out in 2017, okay? Feel It Still has an amazing and alluring bass and guitar groove to it that you're just not gonna stop humming and snapping your fingers to. You just wanna bob your head, move your feet a little bit, and get into a little bit of a nerdy dance when you listen to a song like this. Feel It Still has one of the best damn hooks of the year, especially in a pop sense, but also having indie and rock and alternative tendencies. Something like this was bound to cross over eventually, and I'm so glad that it happened for a band like Portugal the Man.
Just stop your crying, it's a sign of the times. We gotta get away from here. We gotta get away from here.
I almost forgot that Sign of the Times came out in 2017 because this song feels that like undateable or untraceable, like you don't know what year this song came out in. If I just heard this song and I had no idea who it was, somebody just played it for me, I wouldn't be able to guess if it was modern or if it came out in 1979 or 1982 or whatever it might be. It has those old qualities to it, but we have Harry Styles on the list at number 2 with Sign of the Times. It was a bold move to release a song like this as the lead-off single, but I do hope it did a great job of introducing people to a different style of music. It doesn't just have to be club music. It doesn't just have to be this relatable, trendy message. Sign of the Times can actually show you so much more if you open your mind to it. And a song like this, it transcends the concept of just a pop star or Harry Styles. It feels even bigger than him, and that's why it's so amazing, because it has multiple stages to it. It starts off as a piano ballad and turns into just a power ballad, actually. It's something where the lyrics, the music, the instrumental, and that incredible vocal performance all come together and make this massive piece of art that sounds so good to the eardrums that you're just never going to be able to resist it.
Use a bitch, your hormones probably switch inside your DNA. Problem is, all that sucker shit inside your DNA. Daddy probably snitch, heritage inside your DNA. Backbone don't exist, born on side a jellyfish, I gauge.
Trust me, my number 1 and 2 picks were very close, but here in number 1 at the top spot, we have K-Dot himself, Kendrick Lamar with DNA. This song stayed on the charts for a while thanks to Damn being one of the biggest albums of 2017. Obviously, Humble was huge, and it took me a little bit to decide. I was like, am I going to put Humble or am I going to put DNA? Because I love both of the tracks, but I only wanted to do one per artist. I didn't just want to clog up the list with a bunch of different songs from Kendrick or a bunch of different songs from KHALID or whoever it might have been. Kendrick's flow on this track is so steady and confident. It comes across with this prowess and this ego tearing into somebody, and it's like watching an animal claw its prey apart. And it's amazing, honestly, because he does that on tracks like Humble as well, but DNA, he actually goes in on what makes somebody up. He's saying, you know, you've got all of these other traits in your DNA. I know what's in mine. And then as that beat shift comes in, oh man, that is a glorious moment, one of the best moments of 2017 in music, and he really just starts rattling it off, firing rapid fire style. It's perfection, honestly, people. Check it out if you haven't heard it, please. That wraps up my best hit songs of the year video. I do hope everyone enjoyed it. Be sure to let me know some of your favorite hit songs of the year, because keep in mind these were all just my opinions here. If you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. It's totally free, and hit that like button as well. I might have to charge you for that one. Seriously though, thanks for tuning in. If you're able to support the channels on Patreon, it's this annotation over there in the corner. It does help videos like this keep coming on a monthly basis. And if you would like to check out all of my year-end playlist videos, it's right over here in one convenient playlist. If you want to see another one, right over here, and all of my socials can be found in the description down below. Other than that, I will see you very soon right here on Beyond AR TV.